2, 1. Welcome on in, listeners. This is the very first debut episode of On Beat Off Script. My name is Brandito, and I'm here with Mel, which are going to be your recurring hosts, as well as a fantastic guest, our good friend Incredibob. And basically the whole concept of this is we are a new music podcast. We want to talk about new music as it's coming out as soon as possible so you guys know what to listen to, where to find it, and let you know what kind of our thoughts are on it. Without further ado, now, so moving into Kele, The Singing Winds Part 3. This was an interesting album, and again, it coming from the lead singer of Block Party. I have not listened to any of Kele's solo work thus far, but I have obviously listened to Block Party, and I know what Block Party's vibe is. Mm-hmm. This album felt very detached from Block Party. It gave me a lot more. I think I was anticipating a lot more post-punk kind of vibe to it, where this really kind of, it had deconstructed instrumentals the same way that a post-punk album would, but they were almost past the point of deconstruction when it came to the instrumental side. And lyrically, I thought his cadence was really odd on a lot of tracks.
I actually really enjoyed it because it was so odd. I liked it. Like, it stood out to me.
Like, I thought the storytelling was okay on it. So like, but it just, for me, I think the album as a whole just felt odd. Something didn't quite click in for me. The instrumentals and the lyrics and the cadence of Kele's singing just really kind of was a miss. And I know he talked about some subjects that were interesting, but I didn't know if he really did it in a overly creative way. But that's just kind of my synopsis of the album from the get-go. I don't know if you guys have a little bit more to say on it before we kind of go in and talk about a couple of the tracks that were of importance.
Yeah, what do you think, Mel?
So for me, I really, really would love to figure out if there's an overlap in inspiration with Kele and Matty Healy. This album gave me big the 1975 vibes, and yeah. I wasn't expecting that, but I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of like Healy mannerisms throughout it, and like it stood out for me, and I want to dive into more of his work because of it.
And that's actually a pretty fair point. I think for myself, I like to hear a lot more of the instrumentalism that you didn't really get on this track, but you do get from like the 1975, where there is a lot more of the backtrack kind of being able to take over for the vocals a little bit. But you got to remember, Block Party was obviously pretty big and probably pretty influential for before the 1975. Actually, when did the 1975 really start? Probably pretty close to around the same time as Block Party.
No, definitely after Block Party. That's why I don't know much of Block Party. So yeah, I don't know if like the 1975 drew from Block Party for inspiration there, or if it's somewhere in their background, if there was like an overlap or some. But yeah, I think Block Party was definitely first.
I think there definitely is. Like there definitely will be some overlap in terms of inspiration, stuff like that. But that's interesting that you bring that up.
Yeah.
Do you have any other notes on it?
I mean, that was my big comparison there. I enjoyed it a lot because of that.
Yeah, I'm more in Mel's camp for this time around. This is one of the big positive surprises for me in this episode. Besides LS Dunes was Kele. Like I had no idea what to expect, and immediately, like the first couple of songs, the beats, the instrumentals were fantastic for me. They felt good. They felt like they almost made me feel kind of weightless. They were kind of transcendental even a little bit. Like I was just grooving with these
Hmm.
beats and the way he spoke his lyrics, the way he sung or however you want to say it, like it was very much like Mike Skinner from the streets. Like he just was kind
Okay.
of telling
Yeah.
us telling the story in a way, you know, and it's not necessarily in tune or in beat, but it like
Hmm.
it worked. Like the way he did it worked for me, and it made me listen to what he was saying. It made me listen to the lyrics, and I'm very much an instrumental guy. I'm not a lyrics guy. I never have been a lyrics guy. So when it comes to lyrics, I often those are often like kind of back of mind for me, and I'm just listening to the music. But with this guy, I was like into his stories and listening to what he was saying, and like
Yeah.
I
I
love
think
that. Like it
his
really brought me in.
delivery forced you to listen to him.
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
was, yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm a big lyrics person. Lyrics can make or break a song for
yeah,
me. So I
Yeah.
really
yeah.
enjoyed it.
And Mike Skinner
Understood.
does the same thing for me with the streets. Yeah, so I get brought into the story. You know, even if it may sound weird, but it's yeah, it was what works for me.
I think we discussed how I felt about the streets when
Yeah,
we chatted between the two of us about
yeah,
the streets a little while ago, where I just kind of stood there blinking in the mirror, like, what did I just listen
yeah.
to?
Right.
So obviously there's something there
Yeah,
that maybe just isn't for me. I really thought you guys were actually going to be on the same side of me
yeah,
on this one. I
I really
definitely did
liked
not
it.
think that you guys. I'm super excited about it. No, I'm glad because I'm
yeah.
like I feel like this album just wasn't it. And but no,
Mm,
so I guess there is something there that I'm missing. But you did mention the beats, and actually I had
yeah.
the track that the clip that I wanted to play was specifically about some of the beat selection on
Hmm.
Hometown Edge. This beat was actually one
Oh
of the
yeah.
few highlights of this for me.
Hmm.
And there's
Hmm.
actually two different clips within the same song of how they adjusted that beat. So I
Yeah,
might just actually play all the way through because there's only 15 seconds between the two of them. But
yeah,
like this right here was so cool.
yeah,
Like it's such a
Love it.
unique beat
yeah.
scenario. And then when they did this flip where they broke it, and
Hmm.
then these
Hmm.
heavy break beats too. Like the production value on there is very similar to what Block Party does so
Yeah,
well, and like gave me a lot of that post punk aspect to it, just kind of with a little bit more of kind of an Afro beat rhythm to it and cadence to it in there. So I did really appreciate that. That was a highlight for me.
hmm,
All in all, though, I still had like a tough go. The only other song that I actually wrote down about, because it was the only other one that really kind of stood out to me, was "Breathless," because they have
okay.
that like amazing like string like and harmonizing on like the break beats
Yeah,
on it as well. Those were two things. Overall, for me though, the whole album
sure. What we got?
felt like it was maybe a little bit over trying, and it fell a lot further from Block Party than I was anticipating, and maybe that was me getting my hopes up for a Block Party like adventure that
Yeah,
didn't really kind of follow suit with it. Production level was good, but the lyrics and the vocals and everything else about it just really didn't do it for me.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So what do you rate it then out of 10?
Wow.
For me, I think it was like a 4.1.
4.1.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a 4.1. Like I again like I don't know. Let's hear how you guys feel.
Yeah, that's fine. Mel, what do you got? How you feel about it?
I I loved it. But again, I huge 1975 vibes. I love the 1975. Like I feel like I didn't have enough time to fully dive into it as much as I would like to because I just want to go back and listen to more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like an 8 for me. I want more
Wow.
of it. I want to go back and I want to dive further in.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree completely. Out of all the things we listened to today, this album is something I want to dive back into and listen to it and see
Mm-hmm.
how really feel it. The way I was feeling it at 8 a.m. this morning when I first listened to it.
I am taken aback. Yeah, sorry, not all of us worked long nights. Some of us just had an early morning.
It was just an early morning, right? But
That's so interesting to me. Yeah, I just it didn't quite. It felt a little bit messy and discomposed, and
that was part of its charm for me.
To me, that makes it unique and charming. Yeah, and not cookie cutter like some of the country songs we heard earlier.
That's understandable. That is absolutely fair.
So my rating, again, this is probably the big standout to me for the day. Honestly, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow. I was not expecting you to hate this much. Wow.
No, it's and hate's a strong word. I hated the Pat the Bunny track. I don't hate this. I think is really important to make sure I mention.
Do you feel like your block party expectations changed that at all? Do you feel like? Do you think like
it very well could have. I still don't know whether I would have been able to get to the 8s that you guys are at on it. Truthfully. I don't think there was ever going to be a way there. But no, it felt very messy. It felt it felt almost deconstructed with effort, and something like post-punk, the whole vibe is that it's supposed to seem effortless. You know what I mean? And that kind of ruined it for me, where I felt like then maybe I was critiquing every lyric maybe a little bit differently, with a little bit more of a mindset of, are you just trying too hard? And I hate to say trying too hard, because of course every artist, when they're making an album, they're trying with everything that they can.
Yeah.
This just felt like that to me, where I could really experience it from my side, and I was trying also to get through it, I think, on a lot of tracks. 3, 2, 1.